So we're starting off with back squats. So I always recommend starting off with just the bar or even some lightweight to practice form. I do want you guys to try to get comfortable with a barbell. So even if you're just using a preloaded barbell with weights already on the side, that's totally fine. Just getting used to doing them with the barbell. And then going into dumbbell hip thrust, don't be afraid to go heavy with a dumbbell on this. Definitely focus on mind to muscle connection with this and really contracting those glutes. Next is going to be abductions. Now you can also do this with a resistance band if you don't have access to this machine. Then we are doing leg extensions, and I really want you to focus on powering up and really contracting and controlling that motion when you're coming down. Don't be afraid to lock out your knees at the top, and then going into walking lunges. I like to do a wide step and do it kind of off to the side so my knee is never like directly aligned with my body. These are so great for your glutes. They kill, but I promise you they are so worth it. And then finishing off this superset with some dumbbell sumo squats or kettlebell sumo squats. If you're a little bit taller and you want to get full range of motion, you can also elevate yourself on some plates or something like that. And then directly after this, you're going to go into 10 kettlebell swings. So do these exercises back to back and then rest after that, and that is one set. And then repeat that for a total of 4 times. So starting off with shoulder press, you really want to make sure you're going with a moderate to semi-heavy weight, something that's definitely going to push you, but also not going to be able to succeed throughout the sets, if that makes sense. Next is Arnold press. You also want to make sure you're going lighter than your shoulder press weight, just because this is a harder exercise than shoulder press. Then doing tricep pushdowns, you can do this with either a rope or a straight bar, whichever one you're more comfortable with. As you guys can see, I am using the ropes for mine. And then moving into overhead tricep extension, I always use the ropes for this, but I've also seen people use the straight bar if that is more comfortable for you. Then going into some inclined bench press. This one I usually just incline the bench just a couple of notches just to make sure I'm really targeting my chest. This also works out your shoulders too, which is a great compound exercise. And then finishing off with some lateral raises. You can also do these standing up if you feel it's more comfortable. Definitely when you're sitting down, it is going to be a harder exercise because you are forced to use less momentum. So if you prefer to do these standing, go ahead. And then these are also seated front raises, which you can also do standing if you are more comfortable with. This is a superset, so these are going to be repeated back to back and then resting after, and that's one set. Moving into day 3, we're starting off with some sumo deadlifts. These are absolutely my favorite. I have them in almost all of my programs. You guys should already know by now. Definitely focus on a wider stance with your toes pointed outwards for this movement. After sumo deadlifts, we are going into some RDLs. You could either do this with a preloaded barbell, a barbell, an easy bar, or even just some dumbbells, whichever you feel more comfortable with. Next is going to be barbell hip thrust, and I do want you guys to try to do these with either a preloaded barbell, like an easy bar, a barbell like this, or even on the Smith machine just to get used to it. I am using a resistance band to help force push out my knees, but you guys totally don't have to use one. It is optional. And then going into the lying hamstring curl machine, if you don't have access to this machine, you can also put a dumbbell in between your feet and do it that way. That's a great way to also sub it if you were doing it at home or don't have access to this machine. Then going into some more seated abductions, I love burning out on this machine. As previously stated, you guys can do this with a resistance band at home, or if you guys don't have access to this machine, a resistance band does the job as well. And then finishing off with Bulgarian split squats. I know y'all hate these, but I promise you they're so good for you once you get the motion down, focusing on that hip hinge and really pushing with your glutes. Day 4 is a pull day, so we're starting off with a wide grip lat pull down, really focusing on contracting our lats down at the bottom of the pull movement. Then going into some underhand lat pull downs as well. These are so great for your upper back and lats. And then moving into a seated row, I like to use the V-bar whenever I do this to get a closer grip, but you can also use a straight bar if you want, whichever way you prefer to do these. And then moving into some face pulls. These are targeting your rear delt, which is a muscle in your shoulder, but I love to do them on a pull day, whichever one you guys prefer. But for this program, we do have them programmed into the pull day. Then going into some spider curls, you're going to want to incline the bench for these. Now you can use an easy bar like I am, or use dumbbells, whichever one you prefer. Then finishing off with a superset of some hammer curls and bicep curls. You want to focus on trying to keep your elbows close to your body and not swinging. Then going into the bicep curls right after and then resting after, which is one set. These are so killer and a great superset. And finishing off with our last leg day, we are doing some heel elevated dumbbell squats. I always grab a 25-pound plate to elevate my heels and really focusing on pushing my knees out. Then moving into RDLs, I'm showing you guys how I do these with a barbell. Like I said before, you can use an easy bar, you can use a preloaded barbell, or even do dumbbells, whichever one you're more comfortable with, but this is definitely how you can also do them with a barbell. Then moving into some reverse lunges, I like to elevate my front foot as well just to get more range of motion. Then moving into hyperextensions, these are so great for your glutes. You want to make sure your toes are pointed outwards and you are rounding, excuse me, rounding your back whenever you're doing this and really pulling up with your glutes. And then going into some dumbbell sumo squats. These are the same as with the kettlebell, but we're just doing a dumbbell this time for them. Then finishing off with a superset of some dumbbell hip thrusts and dumbbell frog pumps. Like I said before, don't be afraid to go heavier with these. This is a great glute exercise. You're really going to focus on that mind to muscle connection, and your glute should be burning by the end of it.